Now we want to talk about the marriage mindset. We've been talking about this for a while. It's just giving you some tools to work with going through your marriage. Marriage is something that we all encounter, some ups and some downs, but this is just giving you some tools to work with and to fight with to make a better marriage. And tonight I want to talk about a subject that's kind of dear to me personally. It's called working on your marriage. How does one actually work on a marriage? You know how it is, you go and you find a lady, you find a man, and y'all get married, you're in love, and everything just seems to work out, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work out anymore. Well, maybe the reason it doesn't work out anymore that you're not working on your marriage. Marriage, I always say, is just like, your automobile. To keep it in tip-top shape, that means some maintenance must be done. You know how it is when you don't maintain, then it begins to go down on you. It's like the old commercial used to talk about the Frown filter. You don't have to use the good filter, but later on you'll have to change your motor out. Well, you don't have to really just work on your marriage, but later on you'll have to find somebody to help you work on your marriage. In other words, I'm just trying to say there are some tools that you need, every marriage needs to work on your marriage. No marriage is self-contained. You know what self-contained means? You don't have to do anything to it. It just works all by itself. Too many folk have got the idea is that it just works all by itself. All I got to do is find somebody, I love them, and it works all by itself. I really don't have to do anything to it. And then it just works out all by itself. Now, let me tell you something. Nothing works out by itself except that which God set in place. Sun rise and sun fall because God set it in place. Well, what we set in place, we're going to have to do a little maintenance on it. So we got to work on marriage. How do I work on my marriage? Well, there's a little thing that's called investment. You have to invest in it. Some people in the automobile, they invest in good repair. They invest in the maintenance. If you're going to make a good cake, you don't go buy the second-hand stuff. You get the best flour, the best sugar. You want to invest in the best products so when your cake comes out, it'll be the best cake. Well, same thing with the marriage. You got to do a little investment, put a little something down. It's like having I'm going to have a retirement plan, but I got to do a little investment now so I know to work out better later. So what's the first thing that I'm going to invest in? I'm glad you asked that question. The number one thing that you need to invest in if you're going to work on your marriage is time. Invest in some time in your marriage. What happens so many times is, hey, I got married, I got 2.5 kids, you see what I'm saying? And we both working, we got our own thing, and then after a while, the time that I used to have for her and for him really is diminished. You know how it is when you get busy. The time goes away. Baby, I'll catch you later. You used to hold and kiss, and then it becomes a blow kiss, and then it becomes the smooches, I'll see you later. What's going on wrong here? Well, you're not investing in the time. You need some honey time. The honey time is the time that you invest in that marriage that you can connect. So the number one time that you need to put in, that's the time. Put some time into your marriage. In other words, all I'm saying is you have to give each other that little time slot. And sometimes you have to carve it out of the time that you already have. In other words, you might have to, and it's hard, and I love football, but you got to give mama some time. And you understand what I'm talking about? Now, when I say invest in time, because all of us have our things to do. She has her things she wants to do. You have your things you want to do. But carve out some time and invest in your marriage. Work on it and invest in some time. Second thing I want to talk about is invest in some communication. Or you talk. We talk all the time. No, not that kind of talk. Not the fussing talk. Not the talk when there is a problem going on. Everybody likes to talk about problems. You know what? Everybody can talk about problems because there is a problem, and you can talk about the problem because the problem exists, but nobody wants to really communicate when we can just sit down and just talk about something that's not a real issue going on. That's the kind of communication I'm talking about. Get on the inside of a person. Talk about something that you both can relate to that's not a problem. Because 90% of the marriage, when talking time comes, it's about an issue. It's about something that, hey, we got this thing going on. Let's sit down. Let's work this out. Let's sit down. Let's get over this problem. Hey, it's time for you to invest in some communication. Let's just sit back and relax, go out to dinner, and not talk about the kids, the baby, the bills. Hey, but let's talk about something that you like to talk about. Talk about something you like to talk about. Have a mutual conversation. Invest in some communication. I guarantee you, talk is not talking to you. Talk the talk that she wants you to hear. Now, after the communication, I want you to invest in something else. It's the third one. Invest in some affections. Invest in some affection. Now, affection. When I say affection here, I'm talking about the hands-on kind of affection. Now, a lot of times we react. We have emotional things that we have. Something going on, and it's an emotional thing. But the kind of affection I'm talking about the touchy, the baby kind of stuff. You need to invest in that. Now, it's strange that when you went out, when we were dating, we had that kind of feeling and that kind of touching for each other. Hey, let me hold your hand. Now, hey, come over and sit close to me. Y'all remember those kind of days? Let me put my arm around you. And then when the marriage goes on, we no longer want to invest in those kinds of things. You're going to mess up. You may grow up, but you're going to mess up if you allow the emotions to leave, because then the affection will leave. In other words, I've got to have that. You see, the lady, she feeds on that. She lives for that. Don't let nobody tell you guys, somebody been lying to you and said, you know what? Hey, we have a good marriage, everything. That doesn't bother her. That's to bother her lie. It does bother her. She's talking to her girlfriends about it. She's talking to everybody else about it. But let me tell you something. When you turn the charm on, when you turn the romance on, even though there may be a lot of finance, but the romance can still go on. You understand what I'm saying? When you invest in that kind of affection, nothing but good can come out of it, because that's what the ladies are looking for. And believe it or not, you may be a man, but that's what you are looking for. Every now and then, it's okay if mama comes and sits in your lap. It's okay if she comes and gives you a little kiss. You know what I'm saying? I know you all that, and you the he-man. Hey, let's just be real. Come on down here where I am. Hey, that's a good thing, brother. And if you invest in those kind of affection, I guarantee you, you're going to have a better marriage, and y'all be blessed.